Peace negotiations. Charles finally agreed to give Harry a chance, but Meghan must be eliminated. Hello and welcome to Princess Diana channel. King Charles and Prince Harry plan to meet for peace talks, but Meghan Markle will not be allowed to attend, according to people familiar with the matter. Apparently, Harry will return home to California next month via London, when his Invictus match will take place in Germany. Meanwhile, the king must return from summer vacation in mid-September for moral reasons, meaning the king and his youngest son will be on mission in the British capital. Meanwhile, a source told OK magazine that it means the two could meet in hopes of easing tensions within the royal family. After the release of explosive memo Harry's spare and he and his wife. The Netflix documentary series announced plans for peace talks on September 17 ahead of the king's visit to France on September 20. The insider went on to say that Charles is also likely upset by his son's claims in his memoirs, particularly those about his wife, Princess Camilla, who Harry believes sacrificed me on the altar of his personal PR. According to one of the Queen's closest friends, if the talks go ahead, the king will make it clear that no private family business will be discussed publicly in the future. The source said the content of this book also moved her very much. Harry called her a danger, and the Marchioness of Lansdowne was one of the Queen's official attendants at the king's coronation, she told the Sunday Times. Of course, this worried him. Of course, it hurts, but she doesn't get discouraged by it. His philosophy is always to ignore it, and things get better, to say the least. Well, the way I see it, it's perfectly fine if the king wants to have some peace talks with Harry. These are just conversations between family members, although Harry is not supposed to go public at this point. I mean, Charles can have as many peace talks with him as he wants. People won't forget how Harry treated both the late Queen and Prince Philip. I think it would be a wise decision for Charles to think about whether he will continue to support the public, because remember that Harry swore an oath to his grandmother, the Queen, in the army, and he even fought for his country. But, boy, was it all quickly forgotten, and Harry quickly became an enemy of Britain, the British people, and even his own family, which made it all the worse. The Queen is her own grandmother. He swore allegiance to her. Look what he did to her. I can't even describe his behavior. King Charles was a very tolerant man that I think he's really nice. I mean, I wouldn't be happy if my son did what Harry did, but I think he's a risk taker right now. If I recall correctly, Harry and Meghan had been in the UK for a few days when the Queen died. I mean, Harry could have joined her as soon as he landed, but he didn't want to. Well, that's his problem. At the anniversary celebration, it was clear that the Queen was not well and may not have long to live. But Harry didn't bother to visit her. So I can only assume it's a personal matter rather than a professional fit. Now I'm sure they will eventually reconcile for family reasons, but to be honest, Harry made his case and it looks like he's lost his mind when he returns to Earth. I don't think it's going to happen, and it certainly won't happen unless Meghan hugs. Meghan is believed to be going to the Invictus Games with Harry. Now, the source said it was never accepted that she would be included in the peace talks between Harry and his father. I can only assume that they are trying to negotiate his way back into the family without choosing to at this point, but he puts his tail between his legs and tries to get back to his family, otherwise he doesn't matter at all. And I think Harry needs to understand that living in America, I mean Hollywood style, is not good for him. That Meghan is so obsessed with is not Harry's style. Harry has lost a lot of respect, and why he is known as Meghan Slay. He only pursues her for his dreams. This has nothing to do with him, so he will try to return to the UK in order to somehow realize that he is not valued in the US. I think he's really nostalgic for the old loyalty style, and Charles should really be paying attention to him. Go out. All this he should pay attention to. I hope he arranged this meeting to personally inform Harry that he will be crowned champion. The king publicly decided that Charles should remember that his work was for his country and the people who lived there. Most people have never accepted the behavior of Harry and Meghan, but it seems that Charles will not impose a very bad decision on his country. I recently came up with the term wound collector to describe Harry. Now, This is probably someone who pays attention to whatever they think is being done against them. Once the wound collector gets most of it out of their system, they feel great until the next big thing hits them. They forgive but never forget. So none of the world's last, there's nothing stopping Harry from using any of the interactions in his book contract. He apparently has 2 other books. He could sign the ND, but then he could turn around and say it was okay, and then Harry could also say he was coerced into signing the ND. All conversations or interactions are sold to the highest bidder. It's about getting him to sign a non-disclosure agreement so private conversations aren't part of the book or interviews, or every single bridge between Harry and his family has already been burned. There is no relationship. Harry had to live with the choices he made when his grandmother was alive and the choices he made now. Harry needs to completely distance himself from royalty and accept that he's just a private citizen now, and I understand on the one hand as a father and brother if they want to save Harry. Okay, I understand, but Harry has no place as king. He did not support the monarchy and in fact attacked it relentlessly. Meghan didn't turn Harry into the mess he is today. I think she just revealed who she is. I mean, he destroyed the palace's precious PR that had been around for so long that it really helped him a lot. It goes without saying that the person actually pulling the strings probably won't be there. I hope Charles doesn't leave her for official royal duties. It will be interesting to see what the Scooby book has to say about the royal family. I'm sure it will have Meghan's fingerprints all over it, just like Finn. I don't think the British public will be happy about these peace talks. Charles seems hell-bent on reconciling with Harry, but I'm afraid it's a waste of time and energy, and will only make him look weak and desperate. Harry and Meghan will demand that Charles, William and the royal family publicly admit that we are doing something wrong. We've made a lot of mistakes when it comes to the 2 of them, but Harry also refuses to take any responsibility for anything that happens. Harry had made his choice, and now he had to accept it. Charles warned Harry that he would break the deal if he went after Camille in the book, but he did it anyway. He spoke ill of her. I don't believe peace talks will happen. Even if the peace talks are limited to their personal interactions, it would be a real disaster for the monarchy if they tried to vindicate him publicly. I don't know how lenient understanding would be if I were CHU. Understand that Harry is still his son, but he humiliated him in front of the whole world. Harry is desperate for money, so I can only assume that when Harry and Meghan finally separate and he returns to the UK, he will be on his best behavior. Fine, but the royal family shouldn't automatically assume that they accept him. Again, as a worker king. He should not take money from the taxpayer. Harry was too ugly for him or the royal family to automatically accept that he would be paid as king again. Even more, says the source of King William's, loyalty to his country is more important and he will reconcile if he believes it is best for the future of the monarchy. Well, I don't think it's the best. I think this is the worst thing I can imagine. Strictly speaking. Compromise will cause many people, including you and me, to lose support for the monarchy. What do you think of Harry? Let us know your opinion in the comments below. If you like, please don't be afraid to like and share with friends and family in need anytime. Princess Diana channel now. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye and we will see you again in a future video.